No one can fully understand God. In Job chapter 11, reading from verse 7, we have these words: Canst thou by searching find out God? Canst thou find out the Almighty unto perfection? Verse 8, It is as high as heaven. What canst thou do? Deeper than hell. What canst thou know? The measure thereof is longer than the earth, and broader than the sea. What we are to learn from this passage is that God cannot be fully understood by finite created beings, even though we are to try to understand Him as much as we can. But we do so with the understanding that God is not entirely knowable. But there are some things about God that He has told us about Himself. In 1 John chapter 4, reading verse 8, the Bible says, He that loveth not, knoweth not God, for God is love. That much we know about God. I believe that the average person, if asked about God, what can you say about God? That person would say, God is love. 1 John chapter 4, verse 16, And we have known and believed the love that God hath to us. God is love. And he that dwelleth in love dwelleth in God, and God in him. Since God is love, and God cannot be fully understood, love cannot be fully understood, because love is ultimately a divine quality. Above every other quality God may possess, the most profound is the quality of love. And it is as unknowable as God Himself. But God has arranged a way for us to understand His love to a certain degree. That way is by His laws, because law is the fulfilling of the law. Love, I should say, is the fulfilling of the law. When a finite person asks God, how can I understand your love? God points that person to His law. Christ came and lived out that law. So by looking at the life of Christ, looking at the law of God, we finite, limited human beings catch a glimpse of what love is. I say again, God is infinite and cannot be fully understood. Love is God's supreme quality. As a matter of fact, it is not simply a quality of God. God is love. Consequently, love cannot be fully understood, but we can catch glimpses of God's love in His law, because love is the fulfilling of the law. My listening friend, the 10 Commandments are God's way to show limited human beings how He is a God of love, and how we can be beings of love by following His example in obedience to the law. The law of God, the 10 Commandments, contain 10. The fourth one says, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. In observance of that law, in studying that law, we catch a glimpse of the love of God, because laws express love. Laws are tools of love to teach finite beings about God. As you keep the Sabbath holy, as you engage in this act of love, may God open your eyes, open the eyes of your family to catch a glimpse of His love, the love of the Creator. May the Lord bless you, doubly bless your children as you perform this act of love in keeping the seventh day Sabbath holy. God bless you, and happy Sabbath.